All right, we are live.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Angie. I'm the lead keeper here at Children's Zoo. Today's Zoo to You is brought to you by the U.FundCollege Investing Plan and MEFA. Today we are going to get to watch our guinea hog, Anabelle, get weighed and do some training with her. So we'll have her come up here. She does have a harness that she wears for this. She loves coming out for walks. Sometimes she'll go visit other animals here at the farm as well.
And up, up. Good. Good. And up. Here, let's come back now.
Sometimes it takes a few shots, but she's pretty used to the whole procedure. We do weight monthly with all our animals here on the farm. Anabelle, we actually monitor more frequently because she is getting older in age.
Go girl. And hold.
So she weighs about 134 pounds right now. These guys can weigh anywhere from 100 to 150 pounds typically. Males can be a little bit larger. Anabelle has had a little bit of weight loss as she gets older. She is turning 11 this year, so she's considered geriatric. So we monitor her about every 2 weeks just so we can keep an eye on that weight. But she does great. She loves coming out and getting her snacks. So these guys don't get that large, which actually makes them a perfect breed for small farms. They're typically used in small family farms in colonial times. At one point, these guys were the most commonly found breed of pig throughout the United States, but they actually are considered a threatened breed of pig. So according to the American Livestock Conservancy, these guys are a threatened species, which just means there's not that many of this breed left out there. They have the same qualifications that we see in wild animals. So they're critical and threatened. These guys, threatened is the next step below critical. So they are not as commonly seen, and because they're a heritage breed, we want to try to preserve this breed. As said before, they were found commonly in colonial times. So a heritage breed just is a breed of animals that was used by our forefathers and seen in history. So we try to preserve those breeds and keep them present to kind of preserve history here. So as said, they were commonly seen in different households because they're really perfect for a small farm because they don't get as large as a really big farm pig. They get to be only max around 200 pounds. So they don't need as much feed to required, but they could be used as a meat product and help feed a family for the winter.
So Angie, what is she eating?
So she's getting sweet potatoes right now.
Yep.
She also enjoys apples and carrots, celery. She likes a wide variety of produce. We do have her on a daily diet of grain, and she gets that in the morning and at the end of the day. So she'll get a breakfast and a dinner with some produce added in. But she loves getting produce for snacks as well. So she'll eat a variety of things, but she loves the sweet potatoes. She loves pretty much apples, celery, carrots, pears. She'll eat any of them very happily.
We've had a question, of how old is she?
So she's 11 years old. Her birthday's in May, so she'll be turning 11 this year. So she's almost 11, which is a little bit older for these guys. They typically only live to be 10 to 15 years old. She also gets full access to Timothy hay at all times, so she can graze when she would like to. These guys are really good at rooting, so they were also helpful in farms to help root up the ground. They'll go out and use that big nose of theirs to dig, and she does love to dig in her yard, so she'll sometimes dig some holes that we have to go fill back in. But she enjoys being able to go out and check things out. They're quite smart, so she does know a few different behaviors that we work with her on. Becky works with her regularly here. And she loves working with enrichment. So we have a few puzzle feeders that we can hide snacks and food in that she'll push around till they fall out, which she really enjoys. And she loves interaction from her keepers, so she'll readily come up to us for pets. and scratches. She really loves her belly being rubbed.
Yes.
We had a comment that she's quite spry for an old lady.
Yes, she does great. Really the only issues we've seen are kind of that weight loss, which we monitor, but it's pretty typical of any old animal to lose a little bit of muscle mass. So we just watch her a little bit more closely. She's still very content and doing a lot of fun activities. She loves playing with her enrichment. She loves getting pets. So she does great for her age. She's trying to see if Becky has more snacks to give her.
All the treats in the pockets. Hi.
She knows if you go in with food in her pocket, your pocket, she'll go right up to you.
Yep.
So is that because she has a good sense of smell, or does she just recognize her keepers?
I mean, she has a very excellent sense of smell, so she can smell any treats that you have. She also knows her keepers and will come right up to them for attention. She's very vocal as well. She'll like to talk to us when we go over there, and she'll let you know if it's dinner time and you're running late for sure.
And we've had a question from Martha. So how long has she been at the zoo?
She's been at the zoo since she was very young. I don't know how many months, but I want to say 4. It was definitely under a year when she came. She actually came with her sister, who we lost about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. So her and her sister were together here their whole lives since they were quite small. So she's very used to the routine. She was in with her sister that whole time until we lost her, but she does pretty well on her own. She was definitely the more dominant of the two as well. So I think she kind of just adapted to being a lone piggy pretty well and has just enjoyed some extra attention from her keepers.
And we had a question about why is she losing hair, or looks like she's losing hair.
That's a good question. These guys do naturally shed some, but Anabelle does have some patches. We actually have her on a oil supplement to kind of just help hair and skin growth. So she's lost a little bit more as she gets older, but her skin still seems to be pretty okay, so it doesn't seem to bother her much. And they do have quite a wiry texture of hair. It's not soft, it's very coarse.
We can do some targeting with her. So we want to bring the target pole over. This is our target pole. We say target, target, and Anabelle touches it with her nose.
So targeting is a really good tool we use with a lot of our animals here at the zoo. It allows us to be able to move them to different locations very easily because they will follow that pole. So we can easily bring her any location we want to. She knows she needs to go up to that pole to get rewarded. We use operant conditioning or clicker training. Basically, she does the behavior we asked. She hears what we call a bridge, which in this case is that click, but it could also be a whistle or a verbal cue. And she knows she did what we asked and is going to get a reward. And as I said, these guys are quite intelligent. She does really well with her training. So she definitely enjoys the interaction and she enjoys doing it with her keepers. She knows it means she's going to get extra snacks.
And I'm noticing that her keepers are also putting food on the ground instead of giving it to her. Could you explain a little bit about why that is?
Yeah, so these guys actually have very sharp teeth. So if you've seen some wild pigs have tusks that protrude, these guys also have very big teeth in front, and we would not want to accidentally get bitten when offering it to her directly. So we just put it on the ground to keep us safe so she doesn't accidentally get anyone.
And in her stall, we'll put it in a bowl sometimes to make it easier for her to get it.
She gets her dinner and her breakfast in a bowl every day, but she is trained every single time we go in there with her dinner. We ask her to back up and wait in a specific spot in her stall while we put her food down, so we don't have to worry about her rushing and getting that food while we still have it in hand. So she's trained to wait for it until we give her the cue that it is okay to come get it. And she does very well with it. We do a lot of this training to help just keep things stress-free for her and make their lives a little bit easier. So we also work with her on medical desensitization training, like getting injections, because these guys do get vaccines, just as your dog or cat would. We also do ultrasound training with her in case we need to monitor anything. She's used to laying down and having her belly touched. as you can see, we do have her harness on, so she's also trained to allow us to put that on and go out. But she does really well with it. She knows that means she's going to get to go for a walk as well.
Annabelle, can you come over here?
We've had a question of, does she mind the cold?
We do monitor her more closely than any other animals here, so that is a good question. These guys do need some supplemental heat. Here at the barn, we do have heat in the barn, so all the animals can stay warm and choose to come inside. We give her access if it is over 32 degrees. If it is below that, we keep her in just to keep her a little bit more warm, especially considering her age. So these guys can be okay during the winter. They are cold hardy, but they do need a little bit more heat than some of our other animals like the goats, who don't really mind if it gets pretty cold. She loves snuggling up in her bed though. We give her a straw bed on colder days, and she loves pushing it around and making it into a little spot for herself that she'll kind of snuggle into.
We've definitely got some Anabelle fans. We've had somebody commenting that she's very pretty. She's like a supermodel of the pig world.
She is. She's a very good pig.
All right, if you have any last questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we can get those answered for you.
Annabelle.
So if you guys have any interest in help preserving heritage breeds, I would recommend trying to buy local and buy from farmers that help raise these breeds and just bring awareness to the heritage breeds here in America. Like I said, we try to highlight these breeds at the Franklin farm, and we love that we're able to have them.
So we've got a few last questions. So we've had one question asking, what enrichment does she get?
So that's a good question. She gets a variety of things. One of her favorite things is we have a few different ball toys that have holes in them that we can put snacks of food in. So we have a small one that we can put small produce pieces in, and she then has to roll that around to get those produce pieces out of. We also have a large one that we can put hay and produce or other snacks in, and that makes it even harder for her to get the produce around. And those keep her really entertained because she loves knocking those around. She gets really excited when she sees them. We also sometimes just scatter the food in her straw bed, so she has to go dig around and forage for it. And her training is a form of enrichment. We do give her some toys and balls and things like that. She doesn't like them as much if they don't have snacks inside them, but we still offer them. And she loves just interacting with her keepers as well.
And we had a question about whether she socializes with any of the other animals now that her sister is gone.
She doesn't every day, but she always is, when she has access outside, she's next door to the goats, so she sees them all the time. She's very used to them. We also take some of our donkeys, our Poitou donkeys, out for walks daily, and our youngest donkey, Inspector Maigret, loves coming to visit Anabelle on his walk. So they'll actually see each other through the stall and often come nose to nose that way.
And then we had a question from somebody's 3-year-old if she sleeps with any toys or anything in her hay bed.
Oh, that's lovely. She does not have any toys that she sleeps with on the regular, but I would say that her hay bed is kind of like a lovely toy for her because she'll arrange it just so perfectly that she can snuggle right down into it and take a lovely nap.
All right, it looks like we are done with our questions for today. So it is about time for us to say goodbye to Anabelle. Is there anything that Becky or Angie you would like to add?
Just thank you guys for watching. Have an episode check it out.
All right.
You guys will be able to come see us here in the farm soon.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Where's Anabelle? Anabelle, do you want one more little debut?
Annabelle, come here. Annabelle. Annabelle, target.
All right, thanks, everybody.